Hey everyone, it's Lisa and today is Tuesday and I wanted to make a video today and I was thinking of all the different ones that I had in my head and this one just kept popping up. It's been, Brooke and I talked about this weekend, and this morning, every morning when I take Will to school, and this is his last week and he is still sick. So like yesterday I took him to school and he took his test. They have those EOG end of year tests. And then he called me and I went and got him early because he was still sick. But he is getting better. It's just that his nose was still running a lot. But anyway, so every morning when I take him to school, for the past month, I guess, or 6 weeks or so, he has wanted the McDonald's hotcakes in the morning. So we go through there and get those, and then I cut them up and he eats them or whatever. The reason I cut them up is because I don't want him dipping syrup in my car. So I cut them up and then pour the syrup on them, and then they kind of absorb, and then that way I don't have to worry about syrup going everywhere. Anyway, so this morning we were in line and I went to pull away, and like right then he was kind of in my blind spot, and then I saw him and I was like, oh my gosh, yeah, I'm sorry. And it was a man coming out of Walmart with this little bag and his coffee, and just when he looked at me, he smiled, and he wasn't angry at me for almost going and not seeing him, and just his smile. And then his he had like a work outfit on. He was walking to like a big truck, and his work outfit was just so clean, and his shirt tucked in and his hat on and everything, and it made me think about it again. And the topic of this video, I don't know what I'm going to say, because it's kind of like things that make you attractive. That's probably what I will name it, because it's not pretty or handsome or anything. It's just things that make you attractive. Bubba got me again. He goes to the door. You never know whether he really wants to go out or not. So, and that's something that Brooke and I were talking about this past weekend. I can't remember what made us talk about it, but I always try to give her like little, when things happen, like give her little life lessons or things that I've learned, or things that, just things to think about. And I can't remember who we were talking about, but we were talking about how being pleasant is so pretty, that, just a pleasant aura around you, pretty or good looking, for a man. And so that's what I was thinking, is I would just talk about like open discussion in this video. I like when we kind of give ideas back and forth and everything. So I wrote down some things that I think I really try to, when I see someone, a man, woman, older man, woman, child, whatever, and they make an impact on me, like they're pretty or they're good looking or they're cute or they're happy or something, I try to kind of like, ask myself, what is it that I like about them, or what is it that makes them so pretty, or something like that. I mean, think about just even actors and actresses. How many have gotten so popular, and play in all these, leading roles, and they may not be like what society would say is pretty or good looking, but yet they end up being so sexy or so good looking just because of the way they carry themselves and the way they, conduct themselves. And then think of all the really good looking people in Hollywood or anywhere, and think about how ugly they can get so quick. Like sometimes I don't even like to hear actors and actresses talk about things anymore, because I have been let down by so many about just things they say or the way they act. Or like I'll read that someone is really ugly to hotel staff or something like that, and it just ruins it for me. So I don't even want to hear it anymore. And another thing that kind of influenced my video today too is I didn't want to do a makeup video because it's dark and it's going to rain, and they are clearing the lot next door. We have had this lot next door, it's the last one on our street, I believe, for this whole time that we've lived here, and now they're clearing it, and it's loud, of course, so if you hear something, that's what it is. But anyway, so gosh, I'm terrible about this. So the first thing I have is smile. And I think we all know the power of a smile. And it's not about having perfect teeth or being so good looking or this or that. I mean, there's just something about when you look at a person and smile, and it's so powerful. I can remember my mom telling me when I was a teenager, a young teenager, probably 13, 14, 15, I remember her telling me about, I can't remember the exact words she said, but she was talking about like when you smile at men, how sometimes a man can take it a little bit more. And I think she was just, you know, I was just a smiley person, you know, growing up. And I was getting to that age where I wasn't a little girl anymore. And so she just kind of wanted me to know that how powerful a smile was, if you know what I mean. So I can remember that, you know, and it is. I mean, even just look at, you can look at an animal like your pet and smile and they know the difference. I mean, it's just so powerful. And I love like when you see older people. My favorite thing is like when you pass an older woman in the grocery store or somewhere, and you know, she's got her lipstick on and her hair done, you know, they go get it done once a week, and just they smile and seem happy. Oh, it's just beautiful to me. Same thing with older men. It's just nothing like a smile. And I think a lot of what is beautiful and attractive and pretty you can see in children, because they're living in the moment. Just their little happy voices and their happy expressions, their confidence because they haven't been jaded. Just, you can just see they're just, you know, exuding happiness. And so that is a lot of things that are attractive, you know. Okay, so the next thing I have is eye contact. And I know eye contact is not for everyone, because it is it really does show like confidence. And I do have, confidence is kind of like, maybe like a header of a lot of these things, but you can kind of fake it if you're not really confident. Confidence is like another subject that I'll touch on, because I do feel like as I've gotten older, matter of fact, John said the other day that I was more confident than when we met and when we got married. And, but what was I saying? Eye contact. It can be uncomfortable for people to, you know, make good eye contact, but there's just nothing like it. When someone really looks at you and talks to you and smiles, it is a true, you know, they're really paying attention to you, and it's attractive. It just, you know, makes them show up that much more. So, I mean, even when, you know, I always think about all the places I am, post office, grocery store, Walmart, you know, just out and about, just, you know, passing people in the parking lot. There's just something about, and see, I live where people are maybe friendlier than other places. And, you know, it's nothing for, you know, I'm walking up to the post office and a man or a woman is walking by, and I'll say hello to them and they'll say hello to me, or they'll say something about the weather or just something like that. And it just instantly, you know, makes them look more attractive because they're being so pleasant and so friendly and everything. Okay, another thing that I had listed under confidence is your posture. And this is something that I struggle with. And if you ever want to just pick yourself apart, make a video. Make a video and get up and get back down and walk around. You will notice every flaw. You already notice every flaw up here, but like when I'm editing my video and I'm getting up to go wash my hands or go put something up, I notice my posture. And so I try to work on that, because especially, I just think men or women, if your posture is good, and I'm not talking about like, you know, you don't have to bow your shoulders way back or put your boobs out or anything like that, but what I try to do is kind of just elongate my torso. That's what I try to focus on, is just not slumping over. And I find that if I just try to, you know, lengthen that, and I'm not just trying to lengthen that, but that's just what I focus on, and that automatically to me puts my shoulders back just enough. And like when I'm walking, I remember learning this from Wendy's lookbook. She did a video years ago on how to walk in high heels, and that has been so valuable to me. She said you want to walk deliberate and put your heel down, you know, deliberately. You don't want to be like leaning over your shoes. Now Bridget needs to go out. Hold on just a second. Okay, I just had a little break there. Brooke got up and left for work. And so I kind of lost my place. What was I thinking? Okay. Oh, I know one thing I was thinking too is, you know, think about the reasons that, one of the reasons that most people get Botox is so that you're not frowning, you know, so that you don't have those frown lines. So, I mean, there's just so much that proves, you know, being smiley, and you don't have to walk around smiling like crazy all the time, like a crazy person, but just a pleasant look on your face. You know, some people just look so angry, and it just, you know, takes away from you. And they might not even be, but they're just, you know, they're not paying attention to where they're going, or, you know, who they're around. But anyway, and then I guess that next thing leads me to friendly. And this isn't for everyone. And I know I have just been friendly sometimes to people I shouldn't have been friendly with. I mean, I will never forget, John makes fun of this. I walked up behind this guy at the grocery store one time, and he was checking out, and I was making small talk with him, and when he walked away, he had an ankle bracelet on. Which, I mean, who knows, he still deserved me to be kind to him. But, you know, sometimes it just makes me think I don't need to go too far, because some people can take it as flirting, you know. So, but friendly, I really enjoy talking to people. And if you know, somebody looks at me, I don't compliment men because I know that could be taken wrong. But a woman, you know, I always, if I can compliment her, and it's a genuine thing, like if I think to myself, gosh, she looks pretty, that lipstick looks pretty, I'll tell her lipstick looks pretty. If she has pretty hair, I'll tell her she has pretty hair. I mean, just a pretty smile, whatever. So I think just being kind and friendly is so attractive too. Okay, clean and neat. And that is what really made me think this morning about doing this video, is when that man did that and he walked away, I thought, what is it that is making him so attractive? And a lot of times when I see the guys coming in and out of, you know, McDonald's in the morning or something, sometimes I will notice that their clothes, and I don't know their circumstances, and maybe they can't help it. I'm not trying to like diss anybody or anything, but a lot of times they start out the morning with the dirtiest clothes on. Like I can tell that they are just picking up the same clothes that they wore the day before, and it has just dirt all over it. And I always think, oh, how could you put on dirty clothes? And you know, they're just slobby looking, like shoes are all untied and pants are half hanging down. I mean, this guy just had his shirt tucked in. I don't think he had on anything that special. It was kind of like work type clothes, like, you know, those Dickie jeans or something like that, just work type clothes. But he just looked so neat and clean, and then being nice and not getting mad at me, and then smiling. It was just really, you know, impactful. Okay, polite. I think just, I mean, I noticed this so much, just even, you know, when you pull up, like when we pull up at McDonald's in the morning, you know, they're not that polite. They kind of act like you're bothering them, you know, and then it just really, I mean, that's why I think Chick-fil-A, you know, people make fun of how friendly and nice they are, but that sets them apart, because you go to some other fast foods, or even like some waitresses in restaurants, they act like you are bothering them. And, you know, not only is that so rude, but just, they're not attractive when they're acting like that. And so I just think it's like when you're polite, I mean, I still say yes ma'am, no ma'am, you know, I say please, thank you, you know, I just think it just makes you leave an impact on someone. You might lift their spirits if you're polite. I just think being polite is so attractive and pleasant. So, and just, you know, a pleasant aura. And something I try to do too, and it's, you know, I was telling Brooke about this. I try to, everywhere I go, I end up knowing someone from going there a lot. Like I know all the people at Zaxby's, I know the people at Chick-fil-A, I know every place we go. If we go to a new restaurant, by the second or third time, I have picked out a favorite waitress or waiter, and we get to know them. And you know, I just think it's neat to make someone feel special, to take that few minutes, not to pry into their business, but you know, are you in school, or you know, you just get to know different things about people, and then I try to keep up with it. Like if I see someone that I know we have a certain person in common, or we both might have a dog and cat, and you know, or if you know somebody that you know, their mom has been sick, you know, you want to ask about their mom. Make people feel special. Remember what it is that you have in common, and maybe talk about that. And that gives you a good conversation. You know, there are people like at John's work that I might have different things in common with. Some I might want to talk about politics. Some I might want to talk about, you know, YouTube or something. Some I might want to talk, maybe I know their wives and I'll start talking to them about their wives. But, you know, just being pleasant, and, you know, you make people feel special when you remember something about them. You remember, you know, to ask them about, or, you know, you might know that they have something coming up, and then you ask them about it, and, you know, you genuinely care. And so I think that all of these things just make someone so attractive, so intriguing, and makes you, you know, like some people, like Nene Leakes on Atlanta Housewives, you know, her tagline, I think her tagline was, or something, somehow she got to be known, when I walk in a room, I own it. Well, think about those people that walk in a room and own the room. What are they doing? They're usually confident looking, they're usually smiling, they're making other people feel special, they are talking to people, you know, they are owning the room, and that is just so attractive. So I hope that maybe you got a little something out of this. If nothing else, in your day-to-day lives, people that you find attractive, and it really has little to do with their physical attributes, you will notice that people you find really attractive, there's other things about them that make them attractive, man or woman. And I'm not just talking about like sexually attractive, even a child. What attracts you to a child? Their happiness, their, was it yesterday or day before? The last time I was in Ulta, I can remember standing at the counter, and there was a woman looking at the NYX, which is right to the left, and her little girl was beside her, and she was looking at me, you know, and I looked at her and I smiled, and she was shy. She kind of turned away, and then when I looked back, she was looking back at me, and, you know, just, you know, it was like that connection, and she was just so pretty, just so innocent. You know, I just love children. I love that they are just living in that moment. They're not worried about tomorrow, next week. They're not worried about next year. They're just in that moment. They're so happy, and they're just so beautiful. And I just love, like, brothers and sisters and siblings, how they interact with each other, that true love that hasn't been tarnished by anything, and just how beautiful that is. So anyway, so that's what I was saying. It's just, you know, notice what you find attractive, and maybe leave it down below. And another thing that I did today that I thought was kind of neat, and I'm going to add, of course, I'll add everything that I'm wearing down below, but I bought some like Tupperware type boxes to take some of my makeup out of my drawers because they've gotten so full. You guys have probably noticed how this happens. You get new products, you put them in there, and then you kind of forget about what's underneath, and then you want to wear something, you can't find it. So until I get a more sophisticated drawer system, which I can't decide what I want to do, I just bought some like Tupperware type boxes to stack them up. They're clear, and I wanted to separate everything. And oh gosh, now my FedEx man is here. So today I decided I am going to pull out my oldies but goodies, things that I love and I know I love. Hold on. You know how we get Sephora and Nordstrom? This is John's weakness right here, is Vitacost and what's the other one? Living something, or life something? Vitacost mostly. Anyway, so all of my makeup today is oldies but goodies. I mean, I pulled out the old lashes. A lot of stuff, like these lashes, I had a hard time with them. They're the self-adhesive. And I think I prefer my red cherry lashes still. Oh gosh. Okay, now Bubba's scratching at the back door. Hold on. Okay, mister. Okay. Okay. And so I just let him in. So, and then strawberry margarita, old classic, one of my favorites on my nails. And so, oh, and I do have on, I'll stand up real quick, hold on. This is the dress that I showed you guys the other day from Topshop, and I love it. I love it. And it does, someone asked me about the slit. It does have the slit on the side. I have on these shoes that I just can't get enough of. They're the Hobbiana with the heel. And then I haven't officially shown you guys this bag that I bought from a boutique in Los Angeles. It's a friend of Sheila's. It's Eileen's, and it was pre-owned, and I love it. It is not the easiest to get things in and out, but it does have some good pockets so that my phone, you know, I can keep it kind of just like right there. And but I have loved this style, kind of like that north-south, you know, tote instead of going this way. And I just love the way these kind of bags look, especially with like long dresses or maxi dresses. They kind of have that Brandy Glanville off Real Housewives of Beverly Hills vibe. I can remember, that's why I always loved the Stella Falabella bags. So I'm gonna look and see if I can find some other bags that are kind of like this shape. And it looks like it's cloth, but it's actually like this leather, like a, I don't know, it's that real, it's probably fragile, but that real nice leather, and it's kind of got a sheen to it. I just love it. And if you're curious, I paid $1,600. So that was a deal really for a Chanel bag. And love the like little silver hoops on this, and I still wore like a little bralette. But, and this dress is tight, like it's bodycon, but it's thicker and it has like texture, and it's really, really stretchy. So I don't feel like I'm, you know, just squeezed in it. It's just really fitted, and love it. Okay, so I think that's it. I hope you guys have a wonderful rest of the week. I have edited the video with Brooke and I, and hopefully it'll go up before this one, but I will link it down below. She did my makeup, which that wasn't the focus of the video. It was just kind of like a test video, and we answered some of your questions, and that was fun. So I will link that down below. So I've got to do this one and that one today. And my Hear Me Roar ring. Oh, and the hoops I put on, I found these upstairs. I had put these in my desk drawer. I was wondering where they were, but they're the Blue Moon hoops from Sheila Fajl. I really like these. They're kind of, I don't know, that little extra piece gives them like a little bit of funkiness, but they're just super, super light. And so thank you for watching. I hope you enjoyed this, and I will see you real soon. Bye-bye.